Hi, everyone. This is Jean McCutcheon from Potential Lifestyle Coaching, back with my next topic on personal power and empowerment to finding your voice. So if you listened to my last video, you will have known that I have kind of upped my podcast schedule, which wasn't supposed to come out until January. And I've decided to up my production on that because there's an awful lot of things going on in the world that I think are really important. And I see a lot of people being affected by this right now. And I felt that it was really important to put a voice to some things that I can see very clearly that people are struggling with, people that I have spoken with personally, and also people that are clients and people that I just hear on Facebook and on different social media platforms. So bear with me here. I've got a lot of things to cover. I have my notes and I'm just going to work through it all. But welcome. And at first, some of you might be wondering what a life coach and a therapist connects to social dilemmas and social current events that are happening in the world. And at one point in my life, I think I would have very much shied away from this and have said that this would be, career suicide if I went down this path. And if I started speaking more honestly about some of the things that I was witnessing. And I've actually decided that what's happening really goes against the grain of my own value system and my own ability to be authentic and to watch others be authentic and to watch many people stifling and oppressing people's ability to be who they are simply because of a candidate and who they voted for. So this is going to be pretty specific about that. Why did I vote for Donald Trump? That's the question today. The first answer is because I felt like it. That's the simple answer, the easy one. But I know it doesn't end there. And I know if you speak to someone who did not vote for Donald Trump, they have an awful lot of things to say about that. So this isn't a way for me to defend myself. This is a way for me to be vocal and to just speak my truth and what's important to me. So that's what I intend to do here today. So one of the things that I work on with my clients, it's one of the first things that we talk about are beliefs. And I think that obviously what we believe is really significant when it comes to the actions we take in life and the way we live our life and the way we are with other people and our choices. So I thought about it myself. I just said, well, there's a lot of controversy around this topic, and there's certainly a lot of heated emotion around it. So why am I the way that I am? Why do I feel the way I am? Why do I have the values that I have? And I kind of went back and I think about my history, as many of us can do, and I think about the fact that I had four grandparents that came here from overseas, two from Sicily, from Ireland, and from Hungary. And they all came to the United States in the early 1900s. And I can tell you for certainty that there were a lot of struggles around that. I believe that they came here legally, but were not always accepted. And particularly if you were Italian, there was a lot of prejudice around that, and being Irish many times was kind of the bottom of the barrel in New York, downtown in Brooklyn. And there was an awful lot of struggles there, a lot of struggles for the years and what people needed to do to survive. And, my grandfather sleeping under a sink so that he could provide bedding for his parents and the rest of his family members while he went out and earned the money that he needed to do to survive. And I know that this is a story that a lot of people coming to this country and finding the promise of what America has to offer, and they definitely found that. My grandmother, who raised six children in her home, worked full time, all of these children went on to be successful in their own right and live productive lives. And so that's a little bit just about my history and about what I know to be true about my background. I personally, grew up in a above income average home, but a pretty dysfunctional home. Had issues growing up, was definitely bullied and definitely had issues in middle school and high school. And, I went on to college you know, had some success after that. I had a child that I raised alone for 7 years as a single parent. I was definitely passed up on jobs. Because I couldn't work 80 hours a week. And I know that I wasn't making as much money as my male counterparts were. And so, anyway, the bottom line to a lot of that is that, like many people, I had a lot of struggles. And what I see as a big difference between my family of origin, and a lot of the narrative that's going on today and with myself is the issue around being victimized by some of the things that happen to us in our life. And I think that definitely bad things happen to people and they are victimized, but whether or not they consider themselves a victim and how they choose to proceed and move forward makes a huge difference in the outcome and what their beliefs and narratives are about going forward in life and who they are to the outside world. So I see that as being kind of a big difference between certain groups, for sure. So I think about what is a typical Trump supporter. And you know what? You're looking at her right here. And there's millions of other people like me out there. So what are some of the words? I talked about some of them last week. Deplorable. I don't think I'm deplorable, actually. I think I'm a pretty good person. Disgusting. That's a word that's used an awful lot. In fact, I was working with a woman who's come to my house to help me clean out my basement and told me that she has friends on Facebook that have said, if you are a Trump supporter, you are disgusting and unfriend me right now. And she doesn't think that her friend knows that she voted for Donald Trump and doesn't know what to do about it because this is a person that she's always been really close to. And so this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. And this is not to say that it doesn't go the other direction. But I'm not speaking to that today. I really am only speaking to one side of the story. And I'm not saying that it doesn't happen the other way. I'm just talking about this lived experience here. Racist is another word. I'm not a racist. And I actually get to say that. Someone doesn't get to tell me that I don't get to say that, because if I say it, it means that I really am. And I'm not really understanding that. I'm sure there's a whole like ideological background with that, but I'm not a racist. I can clearly notice different skin colors and different cultures. But to me, that's the difference. The difference is there's maybe like men and women are different. Your skin is dark, my skin is light. It kind of ends right there. No big deal. Never really thought about it. Um, Stupid. Trump supporters are all stupid. Well, okay, I can't speak for everybody. I have 2 master's degrees. So I'm not a person who's a denier of facts or doesn't like to learn and um, investigate and be curious about the world and about things about it. So I'm going to cross that one off the list too, because I don't think I'm stupid. I think I'm pretty smart. Well, sometimes. Maybe I don't always do smart things. So basically, I'm just kind of debunking it, because the thing is that there's probably an awful lot of people around you that are Republicans or conservatives and did vote for Donald Trump. And you know what? Like I said last time, totally get it. The guy can be very difficult to stomach. So what it comes down to for me is my own value system. I think about my background, like I explained before. I think about raising 3 children. I think about being in school. And I think about the career choice that I made, which is really about helping people investigate their own beliefs and perspectives and learning what's in their control and what's not in their control, and helping people be their best selves and achieve the things in life that they want to achieve. So I look at things from a forward action standpoint, really. So I want to put out to you or anyone out there who's feeling very disenfranchised, like a lot of people are, that number one, maybe ask yourself what's important to you and what your background is and what your belief system is around the candidate that you chose to vote for, regardless of who it was. But be really sure about that, because a lot of times, and this has been a personal experience of mine, if I say that I've voted for Trump, um, after the jaws drop and the dishes smash on the floor, I immediately get barraged with needing to have conversations with people so they can really understand. And it gets kind of it gets annoying. It's tiring to have to do that. Um, because I don't actually say that to somebody else. I don't say, well, let's go look inside your brain because, you voted for Joe Biden. Because honestly, I think I would maybe have some more legitimacy in asking that question, because it is a legitimate question to ask anyone why they would vote for someone who basically stayed in their basement for 8 months and can't speak clearly and has been a politician for 47 years and basically has made no positive um, effects in Washington, D.C., or in anyone else's life for that matter. So I think there's some real serious questions people could have regarding that. But you know what? I don't go there because it's a personal choice. And I certainly wouldn't attack any of my friends or anyone that I know because they did vote for him. That is a personal choice. And I actually wouldn't think negatively of someone either. Um, because again, it's, live and let live. But the first thing I would say is to figure out what's important for you, figure out your belief system. And importantly, after that step, don't let anybody bully you or call you names or dehumanize you at any level because of a decision you made to vote for a certain candidate. That is completely unacceptable. And I believe that that narrative has been massively promoted for particularly the last 4 years by the media, by big tech, controlling the narrative and moving people down a funnel that just had this storyline about Donald Trump and how horrible he was. And that's really what people are hearing all day long. And the truth is that, over 70 million people don't believe that, 73 million people. So don't let anyone do that to you. Just say, no, you're not going to do it. And if it does happen, okay, you very respectfully need to call people out on it, because it's friends on social media, not friends, I guess I would say. Um, it is big tech, it's media, it's the universities that you're attending or your kids are attending, it's sports teams, it's employers. Even if people are making negative comments about it in a room full of people and you are in that room, you need to call it out. You need to make this end right now. You don't need to hide in the shadows anymore. You need to come forth and you need to say, enough, stop, enough. This is who I voted for. This is who I am. End of subject. Okay. I just feel really strongly about that. So, as you can see, these topics, I feel very passionate about them. And they do connect very much so to mental health, because this has been a huge challenge for people. And I do believe that people don't want to be doing this anymore. I do believe when people say this country needs to come together and that it's very divided, I agree with that. I believe in that. But I would like to be a part of people coming together. And I think there's a couple of things that I'd be looking for. And number one, I'd be looking for people to stop using words like disgusting, deplorable, racist when they're referring to a human being who made a different choice to vote for a candidate. Number two, I would say that anyone that you're associated with that is aware of these accountability acts and the Lincoln Project and the Truth and Reconciliation, which is it's almost criminal. I don't even want to I don't even want to say the word that I think that it really is. Um, but they need to denounce that. They absolutely need to denounce that. And you need to know that the people in your life, if they want healing with you and they really don't want to be divided, um, they need to make sure that they're not a part of any of those things that are going on right now, because that's kind of silly. And, I think people should have conversations, and I think that people should have a little bit more respect for one another. And maybe the respect is even just not talking about it if they don't want to talk about it. There's all of this like, we need to talk, we need to talk. And you know what? You need to talk if you feel like talking, and you need to talk if another person wants to talk to you about it. But I don't know that I would be pushing the agenda on that. I would push the agenda on yourself and figure out why it's so important for you to figure out what someone else's choices are. Worry about yourself and figure out what your own choices are and where you're getting your own information from. So, anyway, this is just a topic for today. There's going to be plenty of other things that are probably going to sound much more uplifting on future videos and podcasts around a lot of personal development, personal power, mind, body, spirit. And then sometimes we're just going to talk about these social issues because these social issues are real. And you cannot have a conversation about empowerment and about authenticity if you are not talking about the things that are stopping you from being authentic and from being your true self. So I welcome any comments below. Please check out my new website has finally launched after several months, and you can find me there on potentiacoaching.com to learn more about what I do. And please subscribe to the video below and even to the podcast if that's the format that you're watching me on. And I'm Jean, and I look forward to connecting with you again.